The courtroom was packed, the air thick with tension and whispers as the case of Harper versus Dawson began. Marcus Harper, a man with 8 children who all bore a striking resemblance to him, stood tall, his arms folded across his chest. But when it came to young Isaiah, the son of his longtime partner, Lena Dawson, Marcus was convinced the boy looked nothing like him, and in his heart, he was sure he knew why. Doubts and accusations. Marcus told the judge that during the time of Isaiah's conception, he had been away. According to him, it wasn't possible that he could have been the father. He suspected that Lena had been having an affair, specifically with their landlord, a man named Carlos Rivera. The audience in the courtroom gasped. Lena shook her head, exasperated. "That's not true," she insisted. "Marcus was around enough for us to conceive. He just doesn't trust me because of his own past. He has cheated on me more times than I can count, and he assumes I'll do the same." Marcus, undeterred, pressed on. He told the judge that when he was away and tried calling home, Lena would often cut the conversation short, saying Carlos was there. "I'd call late at night, sometimes at 10 o'clock, and she'd hang up, saying the landlord was over fixing something." "What landlord shows up that late to repair things?" Marcus asked angrily, but Lena calmly explained. "Carlos owns the whole building himself. He doesn't hire contractors. If something was leaking or broken, he came personally, no matter what time. I was pregnant. I couldn't put together bunk beds or entertainment centers. Marcus wasn't there, so who else was supposed to help me?" The suspicious landlord Marcus recalled the first time he ever saw Carlos. He said he had expected an older man, not someone young and close to Lena's age. Seeing Carlos, he immediately felt uneasy. "There were times I came home and found them crossing the street together with my kids, eating ice cream. Another time they were outside playing football. Why was he always around?" Marcus argued. Lena countered, "Because you were gone, Marcus. Carlos was kind enough to step in when you weren't. He helped when I had nowhere else to turn." It wasn't just about the landlord's presence. Marcus pointed out how Carlos had been unusually generous. He had let Lena move into her apartment without paying rent up front when she was struggling after being scammed by another landlord. Instead of demanding thousands, Carlos accepted only a small payment until she could recover. "Why would a businessman take $300 instead of $2,500? It doesn't add up," Marcus said. But Lena explained how Carlos had simply shown compassion. She had 3 children at the time and nowhere to go. He wasn't trying to win me over. He just saw a desperate mother who needed help. A mother's fear, the debate then shifted to Isaiah himself. Marcus looked at the boy and said he bore no resemblance to him. "He looks like Carlos," he claimed. "If Carlos wasn't bald, they'd even share the same hair color." Lena admitted something that shocked the entire courtroom. Through tears, she confessed that she sometimes doubted whether Isaiah was even her child. "Everywhere we go, people ask if he's mixed or Hispanic. Some even ask if he's adopted. He doesn't look like me, and he doesn't look like Marcus either. I started wondering if the hospital made a mistake, that maybe my baby was switched at birth." The room fell silent as she produced research, showing that tens of thousands of babies are accidentally switched in hospitals each year. She told the judge that she had cried to her own mother, terrified by the thought. "If Isaiah isn't mine, that means somewhere out there. My biological child is being raised by another family," she said, sobbing. The results, no one expected. The judge called for a recess, needing time to review both paternity and maternity results. When court resumed, everyone held their breath. First, the judge addressed Lena's deepest fear. "Ms. Dawson, the results show that the probability of maternity is 99.999%. You are Isaiah's biological mother." Lena collapsed into relieved laughter, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I needed to hear." The judge then turned to Marcus. The DNA results regarding his paternity were about to be revealed. Marcus shifted nervously in his seat. "As it pertains to 20-month-old Isaiah Dawson," the judge read, "it has been determined by this court. Mr. Harper, you are the father." The courtroom erupted in applause. Lena covered her face, whispering "thank you" over and over. Marcus looked stunned, almost ashamed, moving forward. The judge leaned forward, speaking firmly. "You are the father. You are the mother. This child belongs to both of you. What I see here is a relationship clouded by doubt, mistrust, and hurt. If you keep living in this confusion, your family will never grow. You've got to put the past aside and raise this boy in a healthy, happy environment." Both Marcus and Lena nodded quietly. Realizing the weight of the words, Isaiah, innocent and oblivious to the drama surrounding him, now had his truth. He was his parents' child, completely, undeniably. The court was adjourned, but for Marcus and Lena, a new chapter was only just beginning.